Thank you. You may be seated. Our speaker, Professor Anofi Ashafa, members of the university executive who may be present, the campus principal of Kwakwa, Professor Ngobeni, and senior management of Kwakwa campus, acting campus vice principal, Professor Aliza Leroux, the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences, Professor Sam Adelabu, the Acting Assistant Dean of the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences, Dr. Shabalala, Professor Sandy Steenhuisen, Head of Plant Sciences, colleagues from the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences, and other faculties. A special word of welcome to our distinguished inaugural lecturer, Professor Anofi, his family, friends, and significant others who are joining us today, and mainly joining him as well. Colleagues, friends, and family, it is wonderful to see you all on this special occasion. A very, very good afternoon to you. It gives me great pleasure as DVC for Research and Internationalization to welcome you all on the occasion of Prof. Ashafa's inaugural lecture titled Green Solutions, the Panacea to Global Burdens, Disease Burdens at that. This afternoon, we continue with a time-honored tradition that holds great significance in the life of any university. It is a tradition where inaugural lectures are more than just a personal milestone for any individual. They provide our university community with an important opportunity to engage, to hear what happens in other disciplines, and to learn, and importantly, to learn about the most topical themes in diverse fields. This occasion should be, ideally, a platform for all disciplines and faculties to be present so that we can give meaning to what we often say we do in our research. For an academic, the inaugural lecture is a profound landmark event in their careers. It symbolizes the culmination of many years of demanding work in research, teaching, and of course, engaged scholarship. An inaugural lecture is by right about a body of knowledge, the area of work that tells a story of what the lecturer believes he, she, they stand for, and what they believe they profess. It is an achievement that reflects perseverance, intellectual rigor, and the inaugural lecturer's lasting impact on the academic world. When we say a body of work, a life's work, we mean, Prof. Ashafa, that there still remains much more work to be accomplished as someone who begins the journey of professing a discipline and a body of knowledge. So, a professor's work is the beginning of unfinished business. So tonight's event is all about you, Prof. Ashafa, but also about your work. And as a university, we are very proud to celebrate this. We strive as a university to make a difference that conducts a difference, importantly, where groundbreaking research is conducted to respond to critical challenges that face the world, not just simply at a local level, a continental level, which is important, but also at a global level. We recognize your achievements, Prof. Ashafa, and take great pride and pleasure in celebrating the significant achievement with the wider university community and, of course, very importantly, the broader public. I now request the acting campus vice principal, Professor Aliza Leroux, to introduce Prof. Ashafa. Thank you.
Thank Thank you, Professor Reddy, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our newest professor in the faculty and on the campus to you all. I was, until just last week, also the head of the faculty, so I thought I'd be doing this on behalf of the faculty. So in my heart, I'm doing this not just on behalf of the campus, but also on behalf of the faculty, where Prof. Ashafa has played a fantastically major role over the years. So Prof. Ashafa is a professor in phytomedicine, which will be the topic of his talk today, combining plants and health in novel ways. But this is more than just a little discipline. It is a discipline with the power to potentially change the world. Professor Ashafa has been recognized for his scientific achievements with a C2 rating from the National Research Foundation. And the accomplishments I'm about to list to you are quite significant, considering that he only got his PhD in 2009, which at least to me feels like just yesterday. So Professor Ashafa did not just get his PhD in 2009. Since then, he was a leading figure on this campus. He was the subject head for plant sciences from 2011 to 2015. He was the assistant dean from 2015 to 2019. And he is the person that started the phytomedicine and phytopharmacology research program on campus, which was also, it set the tone and really kick-started research at postgraduate supervision in the Department of Plant Sciences. And since then, the department has really grown in terms of new laboratories opening up, in terms of more postgraduate students being supervised in the department. And this, to my mind, is what being a professor is all about. It is forging the path ahead so that others can follow, and then continuing to lead in this way. And a challenging path this would be to follow if you want to be like Professor Ashafa. He has published 124 peer-reviewed articles, which is a rather astonishing number, 4 book chapters, and this has all led to a Scopus H index of 16 and a Google H index of 21. If you don't know what that means, Google it. But it is a significant recognition of the impact that his work has had. He's had over 1,400 citations of his work. So he's not just doing research in a lab in a quiet little rural corner of South Africa. He's doing work that is being globally recognized. So we are extremely proud to be part of his journey and be, well known by association. And I just want to end by saying he doesn't do all of this alone. He's had quite a number of postdoctoral fellows, but even more impressively, he has supervised 8 MSCs. Sorry, my handwriting is that of a doctor. 8 MSCs to completion, 6 PhDs to completion, and he's still supervising quite a few more of them. And if you are a student, a postgraduate student, and if you supervise students, you know this takes hard work and dedication from both members of this team. And he's not just supervised students, he's also supervised projects of colleagues, of staff members in the Department of Plant Sciences, which is another fantastic achievement. And I am therefore very proud to introduce you to Professor Tom Ashafa, and I look forward to hearing more about your research. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Acting Campus Vice Principal. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, one way or the other, as humans, we must have suffered one disease or the other during our growth and development time. And some of those infections are infectious because they come from bacteria, virus, fungi, and parasites. And some are non-infectious and degenerative because they are not transferable from man to man. And when I say man, I mean humans. This is more like a biology class, you must spell it out. The non-infectious diseases like heart disease claims lives up to 18 million as of 2019 per year. In 2022, cancer claimed over 20 million, has over 20 million new cases and 9.7 million deaths. While diabetes, that is more prevalent among my race, in 2019, there were 1.5 million deaths, and majority of the deaths are under age 70. Kidney disease claimed 460,000, and these are the leading cause of death worldwide and represent an emerging global health threat. Medicinal plants. Medicinal plant has been around, is as old as humankind, and they are defined as plants that are capable of alleviating, ameliorating, and being able to cure diseases. In South Africa, although this fund does not go into the economic stream because of the nature of business around plants, medicinal plant, but the annual revenue generation is estimated to be 2.9 billion per year, 2.9 billion rand per year, which is huge. And it is good to know that South Africa is ranked number 9 or 10 country with the largest plant biodiversity in the world. So, being an educated herbalist, my area is phytomedicine and phytopharmacology. Phytomedicine is the study of plant-derived medicine, while phytopharmacology is the study of the effect, whether positive or negative, of plant-derived medicine on major organs of the body, which could be the liver, the heart, the kidney, the brain, the testes, sometimes the spleen, and other organs. So, what is my research philosophy? Why did I choose to study medicinal plant? It's because I want African solution to African problem. The field of phytomedicine has branched over time into screening, validating, and safety studies. It has also branched into analytical chemistry, which is the isolation of bioactive principle. And recently, through bioprospecting, it has also branched into product development. So my focus is screening and validating, because you don't just work on plants arbitrarily. You consult with traditional healers with a disease focus in mind. Let's assume we want to talk about diabetes. We must conduct ethnobotanical survey of plants used in the management or treatment of diabetes in that community. And when we get the list, we now rank to the most frequently mentioned before we think of any research. This month is exactly 14 years I arrived here on campus, and I have not left, and I won't leave. I arrived in September 2010, and in 2011, I recruited this young man, Thomas Chabalala, as my first postgraduate student. And we started by identifying common diseases in around Thabo Mofusayana District Municipality. And we came up with this list: diabetes, STIs, ulcers, constipation, cancer, arthritis, and HIV/AIDS. So this survey we conducted yielded 25 medicinal plants, mainly used by the Basotho in the management of diabetes and the associated diseases. So we drew up research activity plans to study these plants, whether they could be used against infections or infectious diseases, so that we know if they have antibiotic properties, also if they have anti-diabetic properties, antioxidant, anti-ulcers, anti-cancer, or as a laxative, or most importantly, as an aphrodisiac. One of the plants that was frequently mentioned was the Morella serrata. And this plant, among the Basotho of the Eastern Free State, the decoction of the root is used for painful menstruations, cold, cough, headache, and particularly to enhance men's sexual performance, hence the name, Munna. It is also used in the management of sugar-related disorders and as a laxative to treat constipation. I see my former assistant dean. Okay? So during the course of identifying research areas we can conduct on this plant in order to validate the claim by the community that they are using this plant, we conducted the toxicological implications and laxative potential. Why do we need toxicological studies? It's because certain plants, even when they are used as medicine, they are highly toxic. So in this type of study, you want to determine the toxic level and be able to make predictions. And as you're all aware that in traditional medicine, there is no dosage regimen. They give you 1 cup, drink in the morning, take another one in the night. And many people have died, even when we say that medicinal plant, because it's of natural origin, is relatively safe. Many have died. So we did that, and we look at how, if the plant can inhibit or even inhibit the growth of bacteria and fungi, or even kill. When it inhibits, we say, we look at the minimum inhibitory concentration. But some plant or some extract could have side effect. And when there is side effect, like when you talk about your insecticide, when there is side effect, it means it can kill. Okay? So this particular plant, you can see it's a shrub, but they were using the root. And when you take out the root, you are likely to destroy the entire plant. So we decided to do comparative studies of different plant parts to see maybe what the root can do, the leaf can also do it. Because people are coming from the indigenous knowledge system where information is transferred from one generation to other generation through oral transmission, no documentation. It's only nowadays that we started documenting. And we also test the aphrodisiac property of the plant, and we have results. Okay, for Morella serrata, we found out that the plant contains tannin, phlobotanine, saponin, flavonoid, steroid, and terpenoid. When we tested against 20 strains of bacteria, which is a very large pool, and 4 strains of candida. And men may not be aware or may not have information about candida like women, because we'll talk more about it. So we tested and we found out that the acetone extract inhibited the 20 strains of bacteria with minimum inhibition of 0.09 to 1.56 milligram per mil, which is very low and commendable, because when you use herbal medicine, whether you prepare it as an infusion when you soak in water, or a decoction that you cook, or you use the Nigerian way, put it inside the gin to extract it, and you take a tot every time. Yes, you are taking a pool of compounds, because plants secrete thousands of compounds. But it will interest you to know that what plants secrete for defense, for personal defense, is what we human beings consume as medicine. So, the ethanol extract also inhibited the candida less than 1 milligram per mil, 0.78 milligram per mil. Okay, so the comparative studies showed that the leaf, stem bark, root, and root bark possess chemical compounds with medicinal properties similar to those found in the root, because both the root and other parts displayed similar inhibitory concentration. So on that study, we concluded that there is no need to dig out the root of the plant, because you might end up killing the plant. Instead, other parts of the plant could be employed in the management of infectious diseases. On the toxicology and the laxative study, I am not using photographs of animals that were used in this type of experiment, because I know NSPC, HPC here, and all those things, all those people could be here. And I don't want to grant interview after this presentation. But most of the time, before the introduction of certain technologies that may be used instead of animals for this type of studies, we use mice, rats, albino rats of different kind. So in this study, we introduce the plant material, which is the extract, which is our drug now, were administered at different concentration to animals in different groups for a certain period of time that is enough to cause damage, or is enough to ameliorate the damage that has been caused. So we realized that the ethanol extract improved the plasma level of red blood cell, the hemoglobin, hematocrit, mean corpuscular volume, and hemoglobin concentration, and red blood cell distribution width. the extract also improve all the liver function indices, such as serum concentration of albumin and total protein. The administration of this extract to animals also improved the activities of ALT, ALP, and AST and gamma glutamyl transpeptidase. The extract at the highest concentration tested produced effect comparable to both normal control and the reference standard drug on the pattern of feeding pattern of the animals. There are some medication people take that could reduce your craving for food. There are some that could improve your craving for food. There are some that make you thinner than the way you were before you started taking the medication. And there are some that can make you gain weight. So, the extracts in this case enhance colonic, peristaltic, and intestinal secretion, thus extenuating bowel obstruction. And when that happens, it means you are ready to go to the toilet. From being constipated to a loose bowel, and you go to the toilet. So we also found that the plant extract was non-toxic to the animal based on the biochemical parameters we tested, and is in support of the use of the plant as laxative by the Basotho. One time I was somewhere and I met one old man, and I asked him, how do you use this plant as an aphrodisiac? And it's very simple. Men should try it. So you just get the root, place it near the fireplace to make it warm and excite the chemical component, and you chew the stem back. He didn't say immediately. Swing to action. Okay? So, the interesting one, which is the aphrodisiac study, part of the parameter tested for was to know the ability of the extract to initiate sexual advances. So, we tested for the mount frequency, which is the number of times the male animal mounts on a female animal, but there is no penetration. There is no penetration. It's not all the time you hug a woman, you have sex. Yeah. So this shows sexual drive, the desire, or increase in libido as a result of the administration of the drug. There is intromission frequency. This is the number of times there is penetration of a receptive female animal. Receptive, not rape. Yes, a receptive female animal. There is ejaculation frequency, which is the time, the number of times the male ejaculates and releases sperm after mounting and penetrating, which is normal sequence in all mammals. I would like you to note that if you are not doing it frequently, you need to do it frequently because it has health benefit. The experienced and old ones will know that it has health benefit. It offers numerous health benefits such as managing stress, relieving pains, and reducing high blood pressure. So we also check the mount latency, which is the time taken by the male animal to initiate mounting behavior and intromission during sexual activity with a female animal. There is intromission latency, which is the time between a receptive female is introduced to a male animal and the first penetration. And there is ejaculatory latency, which is the time from initiating sexual activity to ejaculation. Post-ejaculatory latency, which is the time after ejaculation, during which a male animal fails to attain erection despite adequate stimulation. This happens a lot of time. To many men. Only men don't say things. Yeah, they don't talk about it. Yes. Nowadays, we have 2 minutes men, 5 minutes men, and men. Yeah. Sometimes you are in such situation, and after the first round, the battery becomes weak and you can't start the car any longer, even after many attempts. Some will take a nap. Okay. So, our finding was that the administration of the root extract of morella improves all those biomarkers of sexual activities. And there was exhibition of precopulatory behavior, that is chasing the female rat like some men do. When she says no, that is when you persist. And chasing and anogenital sniffing, which will eventually result in mounting. Genital toileting that resulted in intromission after each successful mount was also evident. All this points to the fact that the extract, that the ethanol root extract of that plant increases the libido, and which resulted in aggression, in the male aggression seeking sex from the female animals. So the extract at the highest dose show effect comparable to those of standard drug, POMAS, for those who are using POMAS and for those who are using Viagra. Yes, this plant competes favorably with those standard drugs on mount frequency and intromission frequency. Generally, the copulatory effects were higher in the animals treated with the plant extract, because in such study, you have positive control and negative control, and you have the test animals. So the root extract has been confirmed to be relatively safe during toxicological studies, and therefore, men, particularly men in the Eastern Free State, should take advantage of this resource, but not abuse it. Yes. Irrespective of how we perceive plant, of natural we perceive plant, drug is a drug. If you abuse it, it comes with negative effect. So please, use it wisely. All right, because we had that list, and we take the plant based on how they were mentioned. So when we finish with the Morella serrata study, we took up Dicoma anomala, which is popularly known around here as Schloenia. So this plant is commonly used to treat coughs, constipation, infertility, venereal diseases, TB, intestinal parasite, as well as cardiovascular disorder. I am a bit convinced that majority of the audience will have at least minimum knowledge of oxidative stress and free radicals. So free radicals are implicated in the pathogenesis of severe degenerative diseases, including liver damage. Their deleterious effect causes oxidative stress, which is a reflection of disequilibrium between the free radicals and the body antioxidant defense system, because naturally the body has a defense system. So this results in significant damage of important cellular macromolecules like protein, the lipid, and the DNA, and eventually to cell necrosis or cell death. When this happens, swift intervention with exogenous antioxidants from fruit and veggies augment the cellular defense system, thereby preventing cellular death. The indication is you don't leave vegetable for the vegetarians alone. Yes, you compete for it on the shelf and eat it as much as possible. So, judging by the half maximal inhibitory concentration, which we call IC50 values, the water extract of Schloenia was the most potent in scavenging DPPH, hydroxyl, and superoxide anion radicals. The ethanol extract elicited the best result in inhibition of nitric oxide and ABTS. Most of the extract tested revealed good activity on methachylating. The reducing power of the extract compared favorably with vitamin C. So, the implication is, if you consume this plant moderately, you are likely to restore the damages free radicals has done in your body before you started taking the plant. And you may not even need to take vitamin C. We all know how important vitamin C is. So you may not need to take vitamin C if you have this on top of your fireplace. Although nowadays there is no more fireplace, so you can blend and refrigerate. We also look at what is the effect on the feed and water intake. Some medication kill your taste, like others kill your craving for food. There was no significant difference in the feed and water intake of all the tested group of animals compared to the control. The body weight, pre-treatment and treatment of animal with Schloenia enhances body weight gain. If the plant is creating problem within the system, within your body system, you won't be able to gain weight. So it means the compound in the plant has targeted area where they are performing their, it's like when you take antibiotics for a wound in the leg, you don't know how the medication you take orally end up taking care of the infection on the leg. So the compound in the plant have their target areas where they are working, but they are not creating problem, any negative problem in all those parts of the body where they touched. On hematological parameters, that is on the blood count and blood biochemistry of the animals, most hematological parameters were not affected by the administration of this extract and slimarin. Slimarin is the drug you buy from, whether it's prescribed, I don't know whether it's prescribed drug or over the counter. When you feel or you have been advised by a medical practitioner that you're having problem with your blood system. The lipid profile of the animals, the significant increased level of triglyceride, total cholesterol, coupled with lower concentration of HDL in hepatotoxic rats. Because to carry out that study, you have to induce liver damage in the animal. That is why I said I was not going to display animals here. You induce liver damage and you use available medicine with the plant extract to treat for a particular period of time. The plant extract was able to moderate all these parameters towards normal in the animals that were treated, that were induced with liver damage. So it was concluded that the plant extract is rich in antioxidant principle and thus is hepatoprotective. We are in spring now. If you go around in the next 2 weeks, you'll start seeing this plant coming out, sprouting, and within the next 2 months, they will be in flower. And they are not endangered in this community. They are near endemic, but not endangered in the Eastern Free State. So you can take what you need, but you must take sustainably. Because the problem with we black people is that once we find a solution somewhere, we dig it out, irrespective of whether we are still coming to look for it some other time. So when you want to collect, I know people will start going to the field after today, but collect sustainably, which means take only what you need at that point in time and leave the rest in the field. So these are the studies we conducted on influenza that I've just elaborated upon. I'm sure this plant is well known to most of the Basotho. You call it shwe shwe. Is that correct? Call it shwe shwe. Historically, this plant is used in making some kind of dresses is it for young ladies, I think? Small. Okay. Small is different from young. Okay? Used to make like a panties for the small ladies. So we carry out similar studies like we did with other plants because our own focus is validation of the folkloric claim of medicinal plants. So don't be surprised that most of the presentation on different plants looks similar. So the extract exhibited various degrees of antibacterial and antifungal. The MIC of water extracts against tested ranges between 5 to 20 milligram per mil for the leaves and 0.16 to 10 milligram for the root extract. In traditional medicine, water is the number one point of call when they want to make herbal remedy. And unfortunately, science report has it that water is not a good extractant of the potent biochemical principle, active principle in plant. So why is it working with the traditional healers? It's because they give you up to 5 liters to be drinking from. So you will drink it until it cures the disease. Unlike when you use organic solvent, acetone, ethanol, methanol, and others that are able to percolate the cells of the plant material and extract those principles, you get better result. Better result. So the acetone extract was between 0.63 and 10, and 0.16 and 10 for the leaves and roots respectively, while ethanol show a range of 0.16 to 5. Most of the yeast isolate were not sensitive to water extract. Those are the candida species that we tested. So the water extract could not inhibit, not to talk of killing the yeast. So in this situation, you must not use water to prepare the plant for infection like candidiasis or what do you call it? Vaginal discharge. Tetracycline and streptomycin were used as positive control for the bacterial isolate, while nystatin and ketoconazole were also used for the yeast isolate. All the tested isolate were susceptible to these standard drugs. The reason being that most of the standard drugs are pure compound, not multiple compound like a plant extract. In the plant extract, you have over 100 to 1,000 compounds. But when you go to the pharmacy, it's a purified compound, so it is expected that it will perform better. So, the effect of Gazania with the tertiary extract against attractability of nematode eggs following 48-hour exposure. We also, because in this environment, we have livestock farmers whose animals are being attacked by nematode. And when that happens, they create some diseases that reduces the commercial value of the livestock. If it is dysentery or diarrhea, nobody goes to the livestock farm to point at an anemic animal to buy, even if it's sold at the cheapest price. So we tested the extract in order to be able to use our result to advise the small-scale livestock farmers around. Although a concentration-dependent inhibition was noticed for all the extracts from the two plant parts, that is the roots and the leaf. The root extract, however, exhibited better activity against egg hatchability, which means the extract was able to prevent the egg from hatching. And once you can prevent the egg from hatching, it means you are stopping the procreation into the next generation. Okay. So at the maximum concentration of 10 milligram per mil investigated in that study, both ethanol and acetone root extract plant cause 100% egg hatch inhibition. Inhibition is ability of a drug to not allow the organism to thrive, to stop or prevent the organism from thriving. So, but not cider. If it's cider, it means it is killed. That organism is killed. And compete well with standard drug Trimazole 1 that we use as control. Similarly, Except with the ethanol extract, other leaf extract also showed activity nearly 100% inhibition at 10 milligram per mil dose. For those livestock farmers who are in the field, not those that are closer home, they know the plant. Even the livestock in the field, they know the plant to avoid. They know poisonous plants and they know palatable and edible plants. So those livestock farmers close to the field, they use some of these plants to do cleansing for their animal by either boiling or grinding and soaking in water and using it as medicine for the animal as a preventive measure. There was also 100% mortality rate at the highest concentration for all the root extract after 96 hours exposure. So, at 10 milligram per mil, 96 hours is how many days now? Using it for more than 5 days, exposing the nematode eggs for 96 hours. The highest concentration, which is 10 milligram per mil, which is even relatively small to compare to most of the medicine we find on the shelf in the pharmacy. So the acetone and water leaf extract display commendable effect, especially after 72 hours exposure period, and brought about 100% parasite mortality. These observations were consistent with those of Trimizole 1 over 72 hours, and Trimizole 1 is a pure compound, a medicine that is available in the veterinary medicine shops for livestock. So based on the result of stain, it was concluded that Gazania crepsiana leaves exhibited antioxidant activity. The study also revealed the ameliorative property of the herb in the management of liver-related disorder, and as such, may be embraced as a viable option for orthodox medicine with numerous adverse effects. It is a known fact that when you take Western medicine for a particular period of time, it may take headache away from you and leave you with liver damage. So, but in the case of medicinal plant, because they are from natural origin, synthesized within the plant as a defense mechanism, it may be relatively safe for you to take as medicine and you get good results. So further studies are suggested to isolate, purify, and structurally identify the bioactive principle that elicited those activities. That is where we usually stop, and the chemist, the analytical chemist, pick it from there. So these are the articles published on those highlighted activities. Yes, green solution is the panacea to all global disease burden. Going green never go wrong. I have adapted this image so that people can know that you eating something from natural source every day, whether it's vegetable, it's a medicinal plant or medicinal food or whatever, it does a great help in the management of your blood biochemistry. Look at how beautiful they are. and they are ready for consumption. These men should be friendly with the nuts more. Yes. This is particularly to advise men that when you eat a lot of nuts, you are likely to be a tiger. All right, so during the course of our researches, we have developed some kind of herbal remedies. We developed these from combination of spices, and I'm sure there are one or two people here who can testify to the effectiveness of these in reducing blood sugar level. We also developed a vacuum cleaner. I have my guinea pigs here who have tested it. And some of my colleagues have been taking this in the last 6 years. And when you take this laxative, after 30 minutes, don't walk your friend to the door. Yes. Except you have adult pampers. And this cleans your system. And at a time when you look back into the toilet, you are likely to see thin film of fat on the water. The only thing you must not do after taking this is not to have sex the following day. Just rest. And thereafter, you will thank me later. Also, we developed this medication for ulcers, and Kwakwa Campus community as members have benefited from this also. The organism that is causing ulcer is Helicobacter pylori. And we find out that this plant, this is a single plant we blended and put in here, was able to break the cell membrane, damage the cell wall of the organisms, and cause leakage. And once there is leakage in the cell wall, cellular content of an organism, it will lead to death. We have also won some awards. In 2016, 2018, and in 2022, I was fortunate to be selected among top 2% of world-class researchers based on citation over our full period of career. Going into the future, fortunately for me, my two bosses are here. They have just built and handed over an animal facility, and we have not started using it. But I would like, at a time, to convert that facility to Center for Validation of Herbal Formulations. You go to the pharmacy these days, you see an array of herbal remedies. When you take a look, no SABS approval. Some will even write it, that take this at your own risk. It's not been approved by SABS. So, if we continue with the type of studies we are carrying out, we may be able to start testing and validating those formulations from traditional healers and some people who are downloading our work and converting it to herbal remedies. Also to partner with South African Traditional Healers Council. Till now, members of the Traditional Healers Council are those that have callings, not we that doesn't have the calling, but have knowledge. Yes. And we also know that the ancestor called some and some call themselves. Yeah. So we would like to partner with South African Traditional Healers Council so that the idea of testing and validating their products can be streamlined. We may also consider product development, although this is going to be a matter of lengthy discussion, because when you are still in employment of an organization, there is always problem of intellectual properties rights. But I will discuss this with my bosses. In conclusion, because my focus is African solution to African problem, so I'm using this conclusion that Basotho men should take few steps backward from the liquor store and few steps closer to the nature. We have what we need to have good and strong erection and last longer in bed. Morella serrata, Dicoma anomala, and Gazania crepsiana have the potential to make our men act like tiger in bed. I would like to acknowledge the University of the Free State, Professor M.T. Yakubu from the University of Ilorin, Nigeria, Professor Oke from Lagos State University, Nigeria, Professor Ojuromi from Lagos State University, Ms. Hedry White from the faculty office in Bloemfontein. I received an inspirational call from her today, wishing me best of luck. I would like to also acknowledge my siblings and my immediate family. Going green, never go wrong. I thank you.
You can stay here if you want. How do I follow this? Congratulations, Prof. Ashafa. Good evening, colleagues, esteemed guests, and students. It's a great honor to present this brief rejoinder in response to the insightful and thought-provoking inaugural lecture delivered by Prof. Ashafa this evening. His work on phytomedicine and phytopharmacology, using plant defense mechanisms as medicine for finding African solutions to African problems, has provided us with a rich foundation for future exploration and discussion. From relief from digestive ailments, from treating kidney disorders, to what the front row has dubbed natural Viagra, which we have also heard several health benefits about. Prof. Ashafa has showcased how our natural resources in Kwakwa can contribute to the health and economy of our community and country, always with the conservation of our natural biodiversity in mind. I can confidently say that Prof. Ashafa has captured, and through his research, has captured the attention of our students and postgrads, as traditional medicine is deeply rooted in this country's heart, in Africa's heart. And through his knowledge of medicinal plants, uses of plants, and through many national and international collaborations, he is training generations of future phytopharmacologists and historians, documenting and preserving South Africa's indigenous knowledge. Prof. Ashafa, congratulations. And yeah, a round of applause again. On behalf of our colleagues from Plant Sciences, we have a small gift to present you. Congratulations, Prof. Ashafa. I'd like to call on Prof. Ngobeni to give a word of thanks.
Indeed, going green, you will never go wrong. Good afternoon, colleagues, distinguished guests, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Prof. Reddy. It is my great pleasure to offer a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Plant Science, Phytomedicine and Phytopharmacology in the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Science of the University of the Free State. As a whole, for the successful conclusion of the Professor Anofi Ashafa inaugural lecture. Prof. Ashafa's insight, presentation, and his commitment to academic excellence have made this a truly memorable occasion. Prof. Ashafa's research and scholarship have significantly contributed to the field of plant sciences. His dedication to his work and his passion for teaching are evident in the quality of his research and the enthusiasm of his students. We are fortunate to have him as a member of our academic community. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to all of you who have joined us today. Your presence and support have made this event a resounding success. As we conclude this inaugural lecture, I would like to invite all of you to join us for refreshments. Please remain seated for a moment while Prof. Ashafa makes his way to the door. We encourage you to offer your congratulations as well as wishes to Prof. Ashafa as he begins his exciting new chapter in his academic career. Once again, thank you for Professor Ashafa for delivering such an inspiring and informative lecture. Your contributions to our department and the university as a whole are invaluable. We look forward to your continued success and leadership. I would like to request of you to stand up for the procession to leave the hall. Thank you.